Of course, the first thing is to gather all the supplies. So the sensor, a cover patch that I'll link below, and I'll talk about that a little more later. The Skin-Tac, that's a great adhesive, and then an alcohol prep pad. This Mastisol I haven't tried yet, and it's a really high-end medical adhesive. I'm not sure if it will help, but I'm going to give it a try. Probably as a glue afterward. So this is the old one that I'm removing. You can see the outline of the skin glue there where it's gotten dirty. There's just no way to keep this clean if you're really active and outdoors. Uh, and a big part of the problem that I have with these sensors is they want to lift off, and you can see where it's starting to lift a little bit right there. So this time I'm going to apply it a little higher and a little more towards the back than the last one. I'm going to go right here. I've tried both locations, and a little higher and further back seems to be more reliable in how it reads. When the current one I have had a lot of weird readings that were all over the place, so I'm going to move it. And the first step here is clean the skin with an alcohol pad, and that really gets rid of skin oils. Even though I've just showered, there's always going to be some more. The next step is to grab that Skin-Tac wipe, and that's a basically a primer adhesive that makes your skin pre-sticky so that the devices will stick better. And just, wipe that across the whole area where you might put the sensor. I try to go overboard because it just doesn't matter. It kind of just starts to peel off of your skin automatically. It's not a big deal to put too much on it. And now we need to give it 1 minute to dry. So, and I typically wipe a few times just to make sure it's fully covered. And then we wait about 1 minute, 90 seconds before applying the sensor so that it's mostly dry and it's just tacky, and the sensor will stick to it really well. Now the sensor has an up and a down, and if you have these patches, you want them to look right, you need to make sure that the button is in the down direction where the oval gets smaller. Not a big deal, but just looks better. And here I didn't get it quite straight, but that's all right. Push in, do your usual, shoot it into your skin, and then as Descom advises, you should push down the tape all the way around the edges, and then press and hold the sensor for about 10 seconds. That's activating the adhesive and sticking it. And with the Skin-Tac, it is really stuck on. I like to wipe around the edges twice, make sure that everything is really stuck on. Then I grab my Skin-Tac wipe again, and now we'll go over the edges, both the edge of where it meets the skin and the edge of the sensor to its own little patch. What I'm trying to do here is make sure everything has adhesive on it, so that it's waterproofed and there's not water getting in underneath the patch, which is going to make it, come off. And those Skin-Tac wipes, I use the same one for the multiple steps here. So now it's time to apply the patch. And what you want to do is hold it at the ends where it has little cuts, and remove the middle section so that you're never touching the adhesive at all. If you touch the adhesive, you're going to make it less effective. Once you've got it separated, again, grab it by the ends, line it up with the sensor, and try and get it as straight as possible, and then slowly wipe it on. It's not a big deal if it's not perfectly flat, but again, that's a place where water or sweat can build up underneath it and make it detach. Then peel off the end pieces, and sometimes one of them or both will be tougher than usual to take off. Once I've removed both, I like to make sure, once again, smooth everything out, make sure there's no air bubbles and no creases or places for water to get into or sweat to build up under. And then I grab that Skin-Tac wipe again, and I go over the entire perimeter of the patch, over the patch itself, and then also right around the edges of the sensor. Again, I'm trying to waterproof everything. I'm trying to just make sure that there's nothing getting in underneath the patch. Now, these patches, they are absolutely the best ones I've used. In fact, for my active life, they're the only ones that have come close to sticking for the entire 10 days. So I definitely recommend these over all of the others.